When Jesus was delivering the Sermon on the Mount, he gave a whole new perspective on riches that included keeping heaven in mind daily. Good morning, this is Pastor Ernie Lewis of the Blue Point Church in Sisseton, Illinois, with your thoughts for Tuesday. Now, let's face it, we don't really think about heaven that much on a regular basis. Oh, certainly if we lose a loved one, we may consider their better condition in that place. But in the actions of our everyday experience, we don't really think much about heaven. Jesus warned his followers not to think so much about the here and now, that is only temporary and fleeting, and to consider the eternal ramifications of heaven instead. In Jesus' Sermon on the Mount, he says in Matthew 6:19, "Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon the earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal." Whenever we think of treasures, earthly things are all we seem to consider, whether it is our bank account and the bottom line, or our retirement fund and what kind of security we're going to have there. Or maybe it's that nice home and that fancy vehicle that we have actually invested our life savings into. But Jesus spoke about how fragile riches and treasures are here below. So instead, he advised his followers to lay up treasures in heaven. Now, I know there are swindlers today and those who have a foreign bank account, but there's no bank in heaven. So what did Jesus mean by laying up treasures? You see, much of what we do in this world to amass fortune is so temporary and often even unnecessary. Perhaps it's even wrong, for that matter. People seek ill-gotten gain in so many ways, but Jesus was saying we should be investing in things that will last for an eternity, perhaps even strengthen our relationship with God and reading his word, or certainly telling others the gospel message so that they can be saved. And then, of course, we can take them along to heaven with us also. Oftentimes, it is doing for others in a way that we don't want paid back. It's more like paying it forward to bless them, and thus we set aside that treasure in heaven. Jesus warned that treasures here can be corrupted by moth or by rust. They can be destroyed. Whatever we have accumulated or stockpiled, even hoarded, may be short-lived. And oftentimes people lose everything they have by some thief that steals their identity or takes their life savings. Jesus said, make preparations for eternity, not only by accepting him as Savior and Lord of our life, but also by laying up those treasures in heaven for the world to come. Let's not think so worldly today about gathering things here, but let's do today what will last for eternity and lay up our treasures where no one can bother them.